Oh yeah! There it goes. Nailed it!
Well, good morning, friends, or good evening or afternoon, wherever you are. I just want to, I get questions in the videos all the time in the comment section. Hey, what chain is that? What saw is that? Well, that's the saw when I went to cut walnut before Bunyan with Old School. That's the 390 that he gifted the channel. And it's a beautiful saw. It was ported. It's a hand file, friends. residential tree work, I do a lot of hand filing. It's very interesting work, this, when you get into a big power. That, I'm just saying this for only one reason. That tree job, that gentleman was leaving town, and he needed it done because he needed to get it cleaned up before he left town. So I went in there, and by the time I put my first hook in that tree and climbed it and removed it and bucked it and drove out of the driveway, it was 1 hour. It was 1 hour, friends. So that's where big power comes in handy, because bucking that maple, you can buck it with a smaller saw, smaller bar, you can do all that. And that'll be fine too, and it'll get the job done, but you will be there longer. You just will. So this is why I've always said 60cc power saws, like my 562. I love that saw. I fall on that saw when my shoulders or something's wrong with me, that I need an easier start and an easier ordeal altogether, and I'll run that 60cc saw. But the big power, it's where it's at. My tree kit for power saws was 372s and 394s with 32-inch bars and a topping saw. That was my kit. And so it kind of still is. Anyways, I love you, and I just wanted to let folks know that that's a hand file. I run Oregon chain, EXL. I love that stuff. Yeah, thanks for being here. Hey, we're back, friends. That was fun. That was a fun little climb. There's one right there. You'll notice, friends, when I'm up in the GoPro and I got the GoPro on and I'm talking, I actually try to take the opportunity to talk to climbers and guys just up there while I'm up there. And you'll hear me talk about a pulling chain. And I will back bar. Like on that stem, when I had nothing else to tie in, and I was taking the stem out and I was in fairly small wood still, you know. It sometimes is easier to back bar, friends. And I'm not saying I don't back bar, but whenever you can, when it's comfortable and you can slide around to get on a pulling chain, I recommend you do so. It's way less fatigue. Plus, friends, a back bar is gonna ride off, and all cuts pretty much happen on back bar unless you're one hand and then you slip and whack yourself. But I am a big advocate of a pulling chain, and I know we all back bar. I do as well. So you'll hear me in there. I even put one in there because I was talking about it in the video, and I go to put one in, and I kind of was reaching. Regardless, was it harder to put use a pulling chain? A little bit. It was a little bit harder, but it was also safer. So it's a kind of a 6 and 6 scenario. You be the judge. But if you're going in for a back bar, just really have a good grasp. Don't be fatigued. If that top muscle right there is fatigued and you're trying to back bar, your finger can actually get stuck on the trigger, especially with a hungry chain. The muffler. Oh yeah. So friends, I ran the West Coast Saw little muffler that they sell, because mine was mine I think may have been a little stronger. It's louder, definitely mine's louder. Mine comes out at a different spot. This saw is less volume. I'll show you what they did. I didn't mind it. It's a little quieter, which is a good thing. It seemed to work just fine. Although the place of exit is pretty much in the same spot as the stock saw. It's up high, whereas mine actually shoots out the bottom. Yeah. So it happens faster. It's a little louder, and I think there is. I'll be honest. My feeling is there's a little bit more power on my beat up kind of weird one. But this is still very nice. I'll see if I have it, Luke. I took the screen out for that very reason, Luke. It's sitting right there. Let me get that muffler, Luke.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about that because Gordy made a nice clean product, and it does work. I'm not saying it doesn't, because it does. It's clean. It's easy to install. Everybody's got different thoughts and different mufflers out there, and there's a few guys you can buy these things off. I don't make one personally, but let me show you compared, okay, Luke?
Okay.
I want to show you what Gordy did. And he's done a good thing because he's cut down on volume. So there's his muffler. You can take a good look at it there, okay? But see where it exits, Luke?
Yep.
Up top. So what I did on mine is it's basically a stock muffler, but I have mine, I closed the other port off. I closed, let's say, Gordy's port off. Mm-hmm. And mine exits here. And it worked really well. I know it looks like a dog's breakfast, but it really worked. It really worked. But Gordy's is working fine. It has pull. It's not bad. I find throttle response a little better with the quicker escape. Does that make sense, friends? So things are escaping quicker. You can literally see the port of the muffler. You can actually see. You may not, Luke, but you can see out the hole. You'll see it.
Oh, are you seeing a bit of daylight there?
You'll see daylight. Yeah. Whereas this one, anyways, we're going goofy, but I'm explaining that the exhaust comes in here on mine. It doesn't even bother with this up anymore. It doesn't even go up there and play around and dance around. It literally comes out of that freaking thing, and I think we even did something in there. But it happens fast, and it comes out right there, the bottom. So I do like this muffler. I think it's a tad bit stronger than Gordy's, but Gordy's got a nice sound, easy to install, and it sure looks nicer than that does. Yeah. So good job, Gordy. So anyway, what a nice little climb that was, eh, Luke?
Yeah.
That one maple was freaking dead as a doornail, and the other one was probably on the way down the road. Work hard, be honest, and be kind to one another, friends. I'll catch you on the next video. Friends, this is how my brain works. Welcome back, by the way. I thought we were closing this video down, but we're on the back because I'm not putting the saw away dull. It had a chatter back at cutting that maple. I picked something up either in the bark when it slammed or just whatever. I could even hit the dirt. Doubt it though. I've never hit the dirt. Anyways, I'm kidding. So I want you to focus in, Luke, on our top plate. We just did a filing clinic at Buck and Stock, and I talked about after you buck, well, we just bucked up 2 trees.
Yep.
Okay? I want you to focus in. This chain has not been filed yet. We've just come home. I've hit a couple teeth, but I thought, hey, this is a great example. I need Luke to focus in on this chain. Like, look at these top plates. They're straight as an arrow, aren't they?
Yeah.
You can see them. Oh, good. You're right in there. There. There you go.
Yeah.
Look at those top plates. There's one. Let's move ahead. Look at that. Straight. And this is what I talked about at Buck and Stock all day long. After you buck something, stop and look at your top plate. Look at that, Luke. It's straight as a freaking arrow. There's no raggedness on it.
Yeah.
And it's not really aggressive. I'll switch the chain up, Luke, and you can take a look at the hook. Look at the hook I have. We just saw it cut, man. So look at the hook. That's not aggressive. Remember, friends, I'm going to show folks when Lukey, focus in there again. Square ground chain only uses from here up. So if you envision this gullet gone, that's great footage. If this was gone, this is all that the square ground chain would be, is this. So don't get the gullet, indeed get the gullet, but don't take this huge ditch out of there and this great big scoop of ice cream. Like, Luke, look here. Come back to this one. I just filed this. Look at. See how this is plenty. It's plenty. I say get the gullet because you want this working corner to be out further than this. That's all you need. So that's why I talked about the baby C. But let me show you. Keep rolling, Luke. I want to show you something here. I'm just going over this chain. All I'm going to do, watch this. You want to talk about a cleanup stroke? That's it. Look, there has been a couple And I know there's there's a chatter in this chain, and I'll guarantee you that I'll find a couple corners. There it is, done. There's a couple corners. Oh, there's one right there. Oh, and there's another one. Can you see this tooth, Luke?
Give me a minute. Yep, that corner is wiped.
You can see it, can't you?
Yep.
The corner's knocked off it. I feel that in my cuts, friends. I feel it. This guy, you can see it.
Yep.
It's kind of gone.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So I need to get a little bit aggressive with this. So I'm going to take a couple strokes down. That's it. Now watch. I'm going to loosen up, and I'm just going to clean that corner up, and it's going to be gone. And we're going to be off to the races and straight again. Watch this. Let's see what just happened. Look at that.
Yeah, no, that's so much better. Yeah.
That's because it
And
puts
it's
the track
back.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
and look at the corner.
Yeah.
Sharp.
Yep.
But my point is, the rest of these teeth, Luke, just took a good run.
Yep.
And there's no concaveness. There's no... And the reason that is, Luke...
Strong top plate.
It's a strong top plate, brother. I'll cut for hours like that. Now, I can see one from here. That's not good. This is ragged. Look at this one, Luke. Look at that. This one here.
Oh, yeah.
It's... Look at that.
Yep.
That got smashed. I can feel these in my cut. Here's another one. So I just need to come in here real quick so I don't end up with my ski jump. So I'm going to go down a little. That's all I need. I did a couple strokes down. Now I start gliding. All I do is I start gliding to clean up that top plate. And we end up with another ordeal where we're rocking and rolling. Look at that. Clean and straight. See the gullet? There's still quite a bit of gullet in there, friends. You do what you want on your gullets, friends, but I'm saying get it. Get the gullet. Don't leave it because you'll end up with a ski jump. So with a proper... Now this is bad. You want to see this run away? Let's watch this one run away. This will be our last tooth. Look at this. But if you put these away dull, watch this clean up really quick. And I'm not going to take a whole pile of meat because I don't want to throw the raker gauge at this thing. Look at this thing, Lukey. Look at the cleanup on this. You can actually see that, can't you? Now watch this. A couple light strokes, little cleanup strokes. You get rid of a burr and whappo.
Doesn't take much, eh?
No, it really doesn't. But if you don't push down, you will eventually end up. That is not an aggressive hook. I think we can both agree on that. It's not. But again, I reference square ground chain. I don't remove my gullets. I've done experiments. So look, it's half the chain. Square ground uses half the chain. A lot of guys remove their gullet right there. They remove that, but I don't. I don't do it. I've done it, but you would think if it was impeding the cut or anything, that it would be all like a piece of driftwood, worn out and shiny. Well, friends, that is not shiny, nor is it worn out, nor is it even... That's it. Square ground chain. I reference square ground chain. Right? Square ground doesn't even... I leave my gullets in square. Good. Over and out. Work hard.
Be honest.
And be kind.
Be kind.